What's up, race fans, and welcome to a very special episode of the Pecino Report. It's the season wrap-up and the post-season testing episode. It's season 2021, or is it actually technically season 2022? Has it started yet? Who knows? But we're episode 29, so that makes us the Maniac episode. We are the Iannone episode, and I'm sure Manuel will come in with lots of wonderful insights about some tidbits and nuggets that he's heard about Andre Iannone himself. So yes, here we are, another season done and dusted. We've had all three categories now. The champion has been decided, and the last one off the rank was our most amazing Aussie world champion there in Moto2. Go Remy, great to see, fantastic. So before we get into it, I know Manuel's got a lot to say about postseason testing. He may have been there, but before we do, Andra, how you doing? I believe you've been having some racetrack action as well.
I did. I went and drove my mate's Mustang again for my fourth time driving around the
Mustang
Tail and Bend
Sally
track. And I spoke to an instructor beforehand. He's like, forget everyone else, just stay in your bubble. So I really tried to get the race. And because no one was allowed to go out with me. I had to go by myself. So I haven't had anyone, I wasn't allowed to have anyone sit with me, talk me through it. I wasn't allowed to sit with someone. So I was just winging it. So I was trying to get the race line and I'm trying to, get the apex. And then I watched the video going back and I'm going so slow.
It felt like I was going so fast.
But in saying that, it's like over 200 down the straight and around some of the corners are still 100 kilometers an hour. So it's not like stupid slow, but I know I'm proud of what I did, but now I'm hooked. So I'm going to go sell my car and buy a car that I can take on the track for the open track day.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Good on you.
But more exciting, we were just talking about this offline. This weekend here in Adelaide, we've got the final round of the Australian Superbikes. So Stu is flying from Brisbane here to Adelaide. I'm picking him up and we're going to spend 3 days at the track chasing Jack Miller around. And I'm a bit nervous how exhausted we're going to be after 3 days at the track. But
it's gotta be awesome.
Make sure you keep an eye on all our social media and everything, because I think it's going to be a bit mental. It
will be absolutely crazy, but it's going to be fantastic. And if you do see us out there, we'll be the ones with the red Pecino Report t-shirts on. If you see us out there, stop by, say good day, and have a chat. We'd love to. And El Jefe, boss, how are you? Look at you with your lovely background of the mysterious black postseason testing fairing.
Yeah, look, I have been so busy these days. In fact, we could not record last week.
Yeah,
because it was like I returned from Valencia Monday afternoon. I left to the test Wednesday morning.
Yep.
So it was super busy, but so exciting. So exciting. I think that before going to the test, that was really something special. Let's have a chat about your new world champion.
That's right. Yeah, this guy here, indeed. Yeah. So as we said, so the other classes were all decided and wrapped up, and we'll have a bit of a chat because they were still good races. But yeah, Remy managed to wrap it up at the last race there, didn't he? Only just, we were a little bit nervous. He was there down in 8th, 10th, all that sort of thing. He did just enough, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I think he suffered a lot. This tension. I have seen this before with Kenny Jr. when he made the title, or even another ones. But he did the job. He did what he had to do, despite his teammate tried to do some pressure during the practice sessions, Yeah. But Remy did the job. You have finally a new world champion. Woo. And it is not Jack Miller that we thought he would be.
That's right.
It's Remy Gardner. And the Gardners are back.
They are indeed.
That was the hardest race to watch of any.
Oh, yeah.
How long?
It's like, just stay on. The last corner, it's like, just, especially with Raul winning, and because if he fell off, that's it, kaput, done.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was always close to the limit, no? Because he had to finish, I don't remember, 11th or 13th or something
like that, yeah.
And he was always 2 positions in front,
Yep.
And every time a rider came close, it was like, don't touch him.
But no, especially after what we've seen the last couple of weeks with people being nerfed off. Oh my God, yeah, it was absolutely crazy. But yeah, he got there in the end. And amazing celebrations afterwards as well. It was so good to see Clara and Wayne there with him as well to join in the celebrations. What an incredible event.
Yeah, and the afters of the championship, I don't know if you have read the quotes of his teammate.
Oh, the moral victory.
A moral victory, saying that the team has pushed for Remy, saying that he feels a rider who has been 5 seasons in Moto2 has not to be proud about having the championship because he was a rookie.
Yeah.
Saying that the team has put stones in his way. Well, what?
Manuel,
the typical frustration, the typical frustration.
Was this in Spanish and it's been interpreted correctly, or has he tried to say something in English and it's been interpreted?
No, it was in Spanish and it was written what he said exactly, word by word. But
they were saying, it's been taken out of context or something like that. But
no, he was straight. And yesterday, obviously, the quotes of the team came out.
Right.
And the team said that they did their job. The team said that in Misano, the same guy that was criticizing them said that they were the best team he ever had. They were helping him a lot. So, they were not nice words, but you have to read them as a big frustration.
Yeah, that's what I was reading out of it, is just simply frustration. And look, I think maybe he's talking about a moral victory. Yes, I think he can still hold his head up high. As you say, he was a rookie to come that close. Yes, he's done very, very well. But perhaps he just went that little bit too far. And maybe he was pushed by the journalist.
Remember, the journalist did a good job to make him say that stuff.
Yeah.
But he won 8 races to 5 of Remy. But at the end, he doesn't remember that when he lost the championship, it was in Misano. Remember? Yes. He crashed leading that, and there he just himself blew away the championship.
Yeah, and I love Remy's retort as well. Just bullshit.
Exactly.
Did you see? I sent a picture to Stu. I don't know if I put it in our group, but it's a picture of an empty cabinet, and it's like, here's the moral championship trophy.
Exactly. In 3 years' time, if you look in the books, there will be just one name, the name of the champion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what counts,
Yeah.
And look, I spoke about this issue with the new team manager at the test in Jerez with Hervé Poncharal, and he smiled and said, I think this year I'm going to have fun.
Yeah, I think he's right too.
Yeah, because of course, Remy has not taken it well, because at the end his attack and making his achievement, trying to make his achievement small,
diminishing it.
Yeah. So, and they are sitting in the garage with 5 meters again to each other, and this will be good because look, I can guarantee you that at least at the beginning, the rest of contenders will not count for them. They will just look at the screen where the teammate is,
Yeah.
And this will make that they push each other. It's like Lorenzo and Rossi story when he arrived at Yamaha. When you have two good riders that really hate, sportive-wise, each other.
Yeah.
This is only positive.
Yeah, definitely for the team. It can only be a good thing. Exactly. They'll just push each other harder and harder.
Who also did really hate each other? The times where the two Andreas were in Ducati. Iannone and Dovizioso.
Yeah, that was because there was that year where Iannone kept taking his own teammate, kept taking Dovi out. That was like 3 times in a year.
They crashed in Argentina and lost 2nd and 3rd. Remember?
That's it. Yep.
Did they both fall off? They both fell off. Oh
yes.
Yeah.
Last corner of the race. Corner.
My God, that's ridiculous.
Yep. Very appropriate to be episode 29 and talking about that.
And who knows where the maniac is now? Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. He's definitely not a world champion, that's for sure. Well, indeed. So so that was Moto2 all wrapped up. Yeah, fantastic to see. Ducati, like seriously, are they getting all of the podiums now for 2022? Is that it? We're just going to see a
Well,
red wave next year?
look, let me tell you, the tests in Jerez were for me like getting born again, because for the first time in 2 years, we journalists were allowed to go into the pit lane.
Nice.
No
rabbit suit needed this year.
And for, yes. And for the first time in 2 years, I could see the bike like live, not on the photos, you know.
Excellent.
And I could see the faces of the riders when they went into the box after going out on the track. You could see the body language. This is completely another world. So for me, it was like, wow, fantastic. Then I went to the side of the track also to see the evolution. So it was like in the old days. And
brilliant.
I can tell you so many things. Look, let's do first a kind of a ranking of the tests. Okay. Ducati number 1 by far. Number 2, Honda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Number 3, Suzuki.
Oh, right.
Number 4, I have 4 and 5. I have a doubt between KTM and Aprilia. They could be either one.
Okay.
And the worst, the 0 is for Yamaha.
Yeah,
the
I did
position
see
in the test.
Yeah, I did see some comments from Fabio saying he doesn't know. He's just confused that they've made no progress whatsoever.
Yeah. But let's start from the beginning.
Yeah,
I think it's the best, the positive. You mentioned the Ducatis. The Ducatis, look, I had a chat with Jorge Martin, Stu, and he came up to the press room and I asked him, Jorge, how is the bike? And look what he did. He said, Manuel, the bike is fast. He was so excited.
By the smile on his face.
He said,
nice.
He said the bike is so good. And really the Ducati ended the championship being the best bike. And once again, in the first preseason test, Dalinha showed obviously not what he had, but showed a lot of things. For the other one, went into the holidays thinking about Dalinha, you know?
Yeah.
So they had a new engine. That's even faster. Doesn't
need to be any faster.
So, and they had the new aerodynamics. Ducati is now the absolutely reference in aerodynamics. And told by Pecco and especially by Jorge, the aerodynamic helps in the change of direction.
Okay, good.
So normally it's kind of makes the bike heavier to change, not because you have that drag.
Yeah,
but now they have worked it, so it's easier. You know,
wow, that's good.
Look, I went to the turn 13 in Jerez. That is the Jorge Lorenzo turn, entering the straight. You know, where Lorenzo had that issue with Valentino, where also Lorenzo was pushed out by Marc Marquez. So that's the key point. Stu, the bike, you see them about 5 meters, no, not further away. And it was goosebumps how the Ducatis arrived. The Ducati arrives, but full speed. So they are doing more and more. They are not doing a corner. They are doing a V, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They go straight to the apex, but straight. No, bang. And then they turn the bike and boom, accelerate out. And the acceleration is like an Apollo or an Exocet or whatever. It's a rocket. And therefore, look what they do by not. And then you see the Yamahas and the Suzuki especially, and they do a round line, typical round line.
Yeah.
The Ducati does an edge. It's an edge there. And why the Ducati, the two best things of the Ducati is hard braking, stability braking, and the engine, the acceleration. Yeah. So imagine in a race situation, if two bikes arrive, the Yamaha and the Ducati, the Yamaha has to brake earlier. Because the stability in braking, the Ducati can brake until they got to the apex. So the Yamaha comes here and then the Yamaha, but once at the apex, the Ducati is in front. They just turn the bike and then accelerate. And the Yamaha has more corner speed, but first they have
But
a
he's got to
bike in
get
front.
around the corner, yeah, and he's already got a
And
bike.
they have and then the acceleration, no comparison. So I would say that now all riders would like to have a Ducati.
Yeah, clearly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
huge
fantastic.
over a whole track, over 13, 15
Yes.
corners.
And this happened in a track. Ducati, the Jerez is probably one of the worst tracks for Ducati.
I was going to say that, yeah. To change of direction, that's where they've always struggled before.
Exactly. But now, look, Bagnaia did a lap time the second day. You know, the typical conversation. So, how do you say the opposite of loud? Like,
Quiet.
Yeah, everybody talking. Hey, have you seen?
Whispering.
Whispering is the word. Have you seen Bagnaia's lap time? Yeah. Between the tracks. Even when I went to see the Michelin guy, he smiled at me and said, "Did you see Bagnaia's lap time?" And he said, and he did it on mediums, not even on soft. So the second day he did a lap time in Jerez that were 0.8 seconds faster than the second one.
Wow.
So it was, and it was incredible. Ducati is, I can imagine that Dalinia will bring to the next test something more, but he had really massacred all the rest.
Yeah, clearly.
So super good test for all the riders were happy, all of them, especially Bastianini, who changed from 2019 to this 2021 bike.
Right.
And he said, it's another bike. It's completely different. And he finished, I think, also top 10 or something like it. So Ducati 10 with cum laude in Jerez. Okay.
Yep.
Then we go to Honda.
Okay. That's behind you, isn't it? Is that Honda?
Yes, that's the Honda.
Yeah, that's the Honda. Yeah, there you go. That's the Honda.
That's the prototype, Yep. So it was interesting. Honda had two prototypes, two different prototypes, showing once more their power, when it comes to do this. They had, Marc was not there. And Paul Espargaro, who got a terrible crash in Valencia, was really short.
Yep.
So they concentrated the job in the Honda garage of Team LCR.
Yep.
Stu, there were 6 bikes in that garage. 6. 6. Typical Honda. And these they were the only ones who had new bike completely done, because Ducati was working on the standard bikes and changing fairings. No, they had already 2 bikes of them, 2 bikes with different engines. So they were testing the chassis, but at the same time, engine configurations.
Right. Yep.
And look how they worked. It was so interesting, because the first day, these bikes were given to Nakagami and to Alex Marquez.
Yep.
And Paul Espargaro just set up his old bike, let's say 2021 bike. And I asked Paul, why didn't you try the new ones? He said, look, the way of working is quite logical. I have set up my bike with soft tires, medium tires, and hard tires. So the best setup with each type of tire. So when I test the new bikes tomorrow, my reference is the best possible 2021 bike.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You have to compare with the best you had in the past. So first you have to put the best you had, perfect. Okay, that's what they did. So the following day, he went out he was so short. He had a lot of pain in his ribs. And it was funny, because talking with me once, he had to, how do you say?
Sneeze.
Yeah. With his ribs.
Oh, that was
yeah. Oh God, that
it was like somebody's, putting a knife in between his ribs. Okay. So the second day he tested the new bikes. And at the same point where I explained you, I saw the Ducatis, I saw the Hondas, and the Hondas were by far the closest bike in acceleration to the Ducatis.
Yep.
You said them. I saw Polo also going out like, pew, you know. And it's funny because the sound of the Hondas, the engine, is completely different than from the rest. The others have like a sound like this.
Yep.
While the Honda, sometimes it has even a two-stroke engine sound.
Yes.
Much higher, you know?
Yeah, more tinny and metally. Yeah.
Exactly, tinny, exactly. That's the word. So I asked him how was he was very happy. He said the bike, it works well. Obviously, every time you fix something, you have to adapt all the rest to that something, okay?
Yep.
But I asked him, well, what's different? And then he explained to me, look, he said, our biggest problem, that was the sensation that we riders have of the bike, that the rear of the bike is kind of floating. You understand? So they don't have the sensation that they had, the sensation that the bike is really settled down. So it's like the rear tire is always floating.
Yep.
You know, it's obviously something of the mass distribution or whatever. He said, now we feel we have the two tires really on the ground.
Nice. It feels planted.
Yeah, exactly. So that he says that now we will see. He's happy he can ride, that Honda is doing a great job, and Honda is putting all what they have in, all what they have. And when Honda does it, we will see. Basically, they left Jerez with a very positive sensation and mood.
Good. Nice.
That's
okay.
That's
good.
good.
It's gonna be interesting to see Marc on that bike soon.
Yes, we hope. Regarding March, I have to say that, look, nobody, not him, not the doctors, nobody knows what is going to happen.
Right.
You know, he is in a phase of just having to be tranquil. You know, waiting the evolution. He has a further test with the doctors after Christmas. And then, look, the words of my friend Alberto Puig, for the first time, their speech is not, Mark, yes, you know, the speech was, after that check, medical check, we will decide what we do. Right. In the past is okay, we are waiting for him to recover. Now it's the first time they are, we have to think maybe in a B plan.
Yeah, think about maybe life after Marquez.
Yeah, it's the first time they are taking it in consideration, you know. I think it's time, you know, because after it's time, because nobody knows, because it's not a bone. A bone, you have to wait, okay?
Yeah.
You know, it's going to get fixed. These are nerves, these are eye muscles, so complicated, you know, so complicated.
And as much as he loves racing and it's his life, he's also got a life. He's young and he's got a long life to live. You want to have some health.
Yeah, look, I did the numbers. You know, I am a fanatic of the statistics. Marquez is around, he's 28 now. And he has been in the championship 14 years.
Yeah.
So half of his life.
Yeah.
You know how many crashes he had in these 14 years?
Oh, yeah, hundreds.
209.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So
209.
200. So he has.
He's had 100 concussions.
He has impacted 209 times. Okay. Many of them were front sliding. Many, but many is how many? 180. There are still 40.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, so imagine at the time his body is saying not enough.
Yeah.
You know, so 209 crashes. And I know that if I would tell this to Marc, he would say, yes, but I have 8 titles. True. You are the one who has to decide if it's worth or not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have another guy, another old guy, retired guy called Valentino Rossi, who was 26 years in the championship and broke one leg.
Wow.
And has 9 titles.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Did Rossi ever have the crash?
He broke one leg, 2010.
That's it.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
2010, and that's it.
Yeah, didn't ever have the massive crash. Yeah,
He's
never
like the
happened.
luckiest rider ever to
No,
have
no,
ridden.
it's not luck. Look, Mark says my riding is like that. My riding has brought me where I am.
Pushes.
True. He's
Okay.
brave, he is fearless, but hey,
Where do you draw the line?
look, once I had an interview with Wayne Rainey, and he told me that he had a talk with Marquez, Wayne, and he told him, Mark, try to stop crash that much, Wayne Rainey. And the other one said exactly, this is how I am, this is how I ride, and this is how I compete. Is it
Yeah,
worth for him? Obviously, it's worth. It was worth so far.
yeah.
But from now on, maybe he analyzes the things, you know.
Yeah, let's see what happens in 2022. Indeed, very interesting. Okay, Suzuki.
Look, what
Yeah.
I like of this test, how the different brands approach the testing. We have seen Honda had 2 full prototypes. Okay, Suzuki. Hang on, let me check. Suzuki did. They went completely the other way. They had no new bikes. They had. Hang on. Where are they? Here. Oh,
Yep. Yes. Yep. Oh, they've got the screen in the way, so you can't see the bikes.
yes. So Suzuki, look how they work. How interesting they work. They had the old bikes. Nothing new. In the track, they had a lot of spare parts. 4 new engines.
Yep.
Chassis, aerodynamics. But what did they do? Look how they worked. They took 1 new piece each time and took off the old one and put the new one.
Right. Yep.
And tested.
Yep.
When they finished testing that new part, they take it off, put again the old one, and took another new stuff and put in.
Yep.
You know, they were analyzing the new stuff, but isolated.
Yeah. Data gathering.
Exactly. So they had in no moment they had more than one thing new on the bike. Because being smaller than Honda, that's the system they used. So they have data. They know exactly how much has improved or worsened every bike with one of the new parts. So they go on the computers and now they will put all together. That we will see if all together works. You understand?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. It's you know as well as I do, Manuel, that it's not a case of so that part worked and that part worked. Let's put them on together and it will work really well. It doesn't work like that, does it? You need to try all these different combinations. So a lot of that, as you say, will be done on the computer. But it's going to be interesting to see how the rider feels once he gets on that bike with those parts on.
Yeah, and what for me is curious, the power of Honda with all this. You know, we have 6 bikes on there. Suzuki, much smaller factory, has another system of working. That was really amazing. Regarding the riders, both were super happy with the new engine. Good. Very happy.
Yep.
In fact, I checked on the top speed chart, and compared with the season just finished, the Suzuki are much closer to the Hondas in top speed.
Oh, good.
So
that's where they've lacked.
That's a good step forward for them. And they were happy. They were really happy, both of them, you know, satisfied. They go into the holidays with a very positive thinking.
Yep. Did Rins crash?
No. Or yes, I don't remember. I can check.
That's okay.
Well, I check later. But
check later on.
Alex crashed. Bezzecchi crashed. Darren Binder crashed.
Of course he did.
So, yeah.
How did the rookies go on the big bikes? Tell us about that.
The rookies, well, the guys who did best, I think, were, despite Di Gianantonio, doing the fastest lap. That was surprising.
Mhm.
In the test, the lap chart doesn't matter that much because you don't know what the riders are working on. The lap time is not that important. I would say, look, for me, the one I think did best were the KTM guys.
Yep.
Raul and Remy. Then came the two Bezzecchi and Digia, and our Darren Binder was the tail of the story.
I was going to say jumping, which we've spoken
Look,
about.
it was
before.
funny because he crashed the second day, and I asked him, "Hey, how was the crash? Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah. They have been telling me, my brother, keep calm, don't go to override the bike." But they didn't tell me that if I'm too slow, the tires cool down and I crash as well.
Oh no! Oh, bless him.
So, and then he said it's a point of not going too fast, but not too slow. They forgot to tell me.
The other people. Oh no!
Because at a certain point, it seems that he was on the track and he saw other riders coming, and he somehow get out of their way for too long. And the front tire cooled down, and then in the next bang, he crashed.
Wow.
But he knows what a MotoGP crash is now, because a Moto3 crash is like kids.
Yeah, he's going to pick it up again. It's like dropping your bicycle.
And that's it. Okay, let's switch to the other brands.
Yes. After Suzuki, what you say? Aprilia, wasn't it?
I say Aprilia.
Nice.
Aprilia.
Okay.
Before the test, I went to the Aprilia garage and asked them, "Okay, guys, what do you have new?" And they told me very proud, "Well, we have the old bikes. Old is a bike that they were using 4 days ago." Okay. They called it old bikes.
Old. Yeah.
Technically.
4 days before they were using that bike. We have the old bikes, and we have 2 hybrids.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I said hybrids. What do you mean with hybrids? What is
electrical bikes?
And they said, no. The bike is the chassis or the chassis of the old bike, bike with a different engine.
Yep.
And aerodynamics and so on and so on.
Yep.
Oh, very good. Okay. So they were pim pam. So at a certain point, Alex comes to the press room, and I asked him, how is the new engine? And he looked at me and said, "What? New engine?" He said, yeah. They told me that you have a new engine. He said, "Look, 90% of the bike is the same I raced 4 days ago." and then he said,
"Oops."
Then he said, "There is a big difference between new engine and different engine." I said, "Como? How?" He said, "Look, our engine is different from the one I used, but it's different because they have rebuilt the oil flow in the engine."
Right, I see.
to avoid, because they had some failures on the engine and
oil
durability.
Issues, yeah.
So it's different. He said, but different is not new.
So it's just a bit more reliable, that's all.
Exactly. It's reliability what they have worked on.
Yeah.
And they told me very proud, we have a different engine.
Right.
Different is not new.
They got you, Manuel.
No, I got them.
Yeah.
I got them thanks to Aleix.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would have written, they have a new engine, testing it. Nothing. Bullshit, like Remy said. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And regarding they work very much on the aerodynamics, very much now. Aerodynamics is the big issue. Everyone talks. And if you have a look at the photos, basically everyone is copying Ducati. Look, the new aerodynamics of KTM, I think they had stolen the fairings in the Ducati garage because they were almost the same. The new aerodynamics of Honda is very similar to Ducati. So, and meanwhile, suddenly the last day, what did Darinya do? He took out a complete new ferry.
The new one. And everyone
no.
went, what's that?
The other were 1 year behind.
They'd be sitting and giggling, and they'd be like, ready.
So, but you know
Mm.
what? The funny thing of Dalinia, and now we switch quickly back to Ducati, is he shows a lot of stuff.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that this works. But he makes the other engineer think.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
he takes out a lot of things, and then at least they have to wait a minute. Why did he do this?
Yeah.
You know?
Indeed, it
Oh.
seems to work. It seems to work for them. That's fair enough. So that was okay. So that was Aprilia. So they have some different parts, not particularly new. So how was their performance with the new aero? Did you notice a difference at all?
No. In this regard, Aleix was pretty conservative, saying that they have to work a lot in winter because what they had did so far wasn't enough.
Right.
Okay, that's the point. Then let's go to these guys here.
Hey, that's good to see.
The KTM garage. Look
That
the
is so
brakes
good to see.
look all the brakes on the floor. Look, a lot of carbon
Wow.
disc, you know.
Yeah.
This is Remy's and Raul's bike.
Mm-hmm.
And sincerely, I can tell not much because it was difficult to get any info from the Austrians. Probably they were worried with a new COVID situation.
Yeah.
But it was what was interesting. I had a chat with Raul.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, they asked him about what was the most difficult thing he was facing. And in English, he said, yes, for me, the most difficult is to understand the real lean angle to get the maximum power out of the bike.
Okay.
And I said, for me in English, it wasn't very clear. So when he finished, I asked him in Spanish, Raul, can you explain me what you meant? He said, okay, it's very easy. He said, look, when you have too much lean angle, the contact, the rubber, the surface, the patch, they called it.
Yep, contact patch.
The contact patch is very narrow because you are on the edge of the tire.
Yeah.
So if you accelerate too much, the bike slides and you have to cut, right?
Yep.
When you lift the bike and put it straight and you give gas, there is so much power that the traction control interferes and cuts the power.
Ah, right.
So there is a moment between here and here in the middle, you know, I mean, here is straight and here in the middle where you can really
get maximum power,
explore the maximum power. That's why, Andra, if you see many times with when the MotoGP bikes get on the straight, instead of lift, they go in the straight and the first part of the straight they do, because when they can push the bike at the maximum. If they put the bike straight, they do not go forward that much. And this is something Remy, for example, also said. He said, now I understand why they do this.
That's such a minute, like, I can't even comprehend how they get that right, because you've got the slight movement, the speed, the time.
No, look,
so random.
Lean angle, maximum lean angle, the contact patch is very small. When you are completely the bike lifted up, there is a certain contact patch that is big as a credit card.
Yep.
When you are in the middle of the angle, because the tire have this format, you know, like when you are on the, not at the maximum edge, but a little more, the contact patch is much bigger.
Yep.
So you can apply more power.
Yep.
Without the bike complaining.
Yeah. Having the talent to be able to
we are talking about
and do that. Exactly.
The 22 best riders in the world, you know.
Clearly.
So and then he said, Raul, going back, he said, luckily we have the best guy in the world controlling this lean angle. I said, what do you mean? He said, Danny Pedrosa.
Ah, of course. Yeah, Danny.
Remember Danny?
Yes,
Danny was the specialist in lifting because he was so light. He needed exactly, he had no charge, he had no weight on the back wheel, so he was perfect. His ability to do this was what distinguished him more.
Yep.
So we have the best guy in the garage with this, and he's helping me a lot.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's
Cool.
brilliant.
Good,
Okay. And I recall that Remy was still suffering from broken ribs as well, and he was in a bit of pain.
Yeah. The pain was there, a lot of pain. He was destroyed. I think I heard him speaking, after the first day. It was a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
But well, now, what's important is they go home, all the riders, with knowing what is coming, and then can analyze. And it's not like jumping into the sea next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
So what's the break? What's the break they have now before they get to do anything again?
Sorry?
How long now is it till they'll get to everyone will have a break now for a while?
Yeah, no, if there is a compulsory break until the 1st of February.
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, and basically, obviously, now they take some holidays, and they will start training, I imagine, after January the 2nd or something like this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because in Ducati, Jack wasn't very brilliant in this test. And the Tardozzi guy told me, look, it's normal. Jack hasn't seen his family for 3 or 4 months. He said his brain or his mind is already in Australia. So
he just wants to go home.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot complain, So they understand it. The same with Jorge Martin. It's funny story because Jorge Martin is going with 13 of his team members to the Caribbean, to the Dominican Republic.
That's a party.
That's a party. And he says, I pay everything. Because he's paying with the bonus he got from the victory in Austria.
Of course. Nice.
So he's inviting his team. And this bonus, I can tell you, this bonus must be, let's say, 100,000 or 200,000 euros for that bonus. So for him, he will spend how much? 50.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, that's great.
And then he told me that when they return from the Dominican Republic, he's going to make a surgery. I think it's December 18th. And take off all the plates, screws from the 8 fracture he had at the beginning of the year.
Put up with that. Nice one.
He's not be able to get through the airport security.
He goes with them to the Dominican Republic.
He takes the place with him.
And okay, let's last brand we have to go through is Yamaha.
Hang on, before you do.
Yes.
The performance of the KTM, was there an improvement in performance? Did you talk to the engineers? What new parts did they have?
I don't know. I could see clearly the fairing. They have worked with the fairing, but engine-wise, they had nothing new as far as I know. I think they were also a little bit late in the development,
Right, okay. And how Brad and Miguel were reasonable performance? They went okay?
Sincerely, I can't tell. They were standard, not good, not bad. If there were something good, they would have said it.
Yeah.
They would have underlined it, but not saying anything means that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bo.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Yamaha.
Yamaha.
What's going on?
Look, in this test, all riders try to be positive, right? Yes, the bike works now, the engine, because they have to push and look and send positive sensation and messages.
Yeah.
The only one.
Yeah.
Exactly. The only one who sent negative wipes was Quartararo.
So he just done because of?
No, he said Yamaha had 4 new engines, 2 for Morbidelli and 2 for Fabio. And basically he said that the new engine, okay, they are new, but they don't add anything at all, that the bike is the same. So he was pretty frustrated with the power of the engine. And he said it, no improvement at all. And then the second day they tried a new chassis that was really, you could see it because there were some parts welded at the chassis, really, really rough, you know,
Okay.
not elegant like a Honda that seems, the prototype seems street bikes. They are so well finished, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the chassis was welded, and they put some plates and weld them for stiffness.
Mhm.
And after the second day, the message was the same. Oh yeah, it's a new chassis. It doesn't add anything. So it was a really cold shower for Yamaha and for Fabio. And then trying to put it in a positive sense, he said, well, I am not worried. I'm not going on holidays worried, because I know that the Yamaha engineers will do the job they have to do. Ping pong.
Yeah.
And at Yamaha, the problem is that they still haven't any other rider to compare with, because Morbidelli is still out. His legs, look, I don't understand, because a football player, if he makes a surgery in his knee after 5 months, he plays football.
Yeah.
And he is riding a bike. He's not playing. He's not running behind the ball. He's not. But he said, look, he explained to us. The doctors told me what they had to do in the knee was so difficult and so complicated that for a lot of months, his condition would be worse than he had before.
Oh, geez, really?
The surgery. Yeah. He said, but after, your knee will be completely strong and you will do anything you did before getting hurt. So he said, I am in the phase that it's really bad. It hurts and I'm pissed off, but the doctors at least told me that this was going to happen. So as a rider, we cannot count with him. Then we go to Dovizioso. Look, and Dovi was interesting, because you know that in 4 days, Dovi went from a 2019 bike to a 2020. He made a jump of 2 years.
Yeah.
In 4 days. He traveled in time in 4 days, 2 years.
Again, yep. But how did his times change? That's the biggest question.
No, he said, look, he said, the bike is completely different. This bike is much better bike, nothing to do with the other ones. And I said, in which way? Look, the engine-wise is clear, but look the expression he used, Stu. He said, the front of the bike absorbs much better the energy under braking.
Okay, yep.
So knowing that one of the strong points of Dovi has always been the braking, so he can explore much more his strong points. And then it's talking with Dovi is fantastic. Listen to this, because it's amazing. He says, when you ride a bike for a long time, like I did Ducati, your brain is like a hard disk. And then you are, in Spanish is automatismo. There are some things you do automatically, no?
Yes, yeah.
The process. So when you ride a different bike, for example, what do you do automatically? When you are on the bike, you move. You don't think I have to move now here. You do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Like driving a car.
Yep. Body
like a subconscious kind of.
That's
yeah.
Right.
Or when you walk, you don't think I have to stretch my leg and no, it goes and goes.
It's muscle memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear headphones to remind me to breathe in and out sometimes. Sorry, it was a blonde joke.
So he said to me, the first thing I have to do is to clean my hard disk.
Yep.
Because he told me, look, in the lap times, I am in the second group. Okay. He said, but to do these lap times, I still have to think what I am doing.
Right. Yep.
And he told me it doesn't come out naturally. So he said, oh, okay, I have to do this. So when you think in what you are doing, you lose focus on what you want to achieve, because you are thinking in the present, not in.
Exactly. Yeah. Your mind is a couple of hundredths of a second slower every couple of corners. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you ride and you have this automatismo, you are focusing the one you have in front. I'm going to overtake him there. But if you are thinking, okay, now I have to do this because, you are still thinking on the bike.
Yeah.
And he said, and he told me, for Jorge Lorenzo, it took him 1.5 years to erase the Yamaha protocol and put in the Ducati protocol.
Yep.
And when he did, he started to win.
Yeah, just when he already signed a contract back with Yamaha.
1 year, it took him 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Because he had ridden the bike for, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 years. The other one. The same happened with Dobby with the Ducati.
Yeah.
He said, for example, when I arrive at the corner, I am still doing the Ducati lines. If I am not thinking what I have to do, you understand? If I focus, okay, there is the guy, then automatically I do the Ducati lines that don't work for the Yamaha.
Because there's so much they're thinking about anyway, so they rely on that subconscious.
So it's pretty interesting, how the brain of a rider works. So that's it. That's what he said. He said that it will take time. And my thinking of this is, will he have time? He's already 35, changing the way he does things is, with 35, I don't think he has too much time to do that.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, exactly. And as you were saying, Darren, he's just learning the bike as well anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, Darren was just lapping.
Has everyone calmed down after all that Darren drama? Have they forgotten that now? It's gone.
No, and Darren, they were not racing together. They were
just
lapping around and cruising around the track. So, and the condition of the 2 days were temperature-wise very good, but there was a lot of strong wind. And for the rookies, it was a problem because they are not used to the wings, and the wind really stabilizes a lot, and they were a little bit impressed with that.
By just how much difference it actually makes. Yeah, I suppose it's hard to comprehend, isn't it?
So it was pretty, as I told you, I enjoyed so much these tests, but so much. Nice. For me, it was like returning when I really had fun. After sitting in a press room and watching the people on TV, another story.
Yeah,
fantastic. And how was the ride there and back? You had was it a BMW? It's like an R1200?
Yeah, it was yes, the model of the bike. There were two models. I rode one, the BMW RS 1250, and I returned in a BMW Submarine.
Tank.
Because I did 650 kilometers under heavy rain, but heavy rain.
Oh my goodness!
Right. Look, the typical situations too when you say to yourself, what on earth are you doing sitting here when you have a car? like the rest of the world. I was overtaking cars, and I know that they were all thinking, what does this idiot do?
Look at this idiot.
That's hilarious.
Terrible. It was really a submarine trip. And I just got on surface when I arrived at home,
With your snorkel.
Yeah, exactly.
And the difference, look, as you know, I went to Portugal on a Honda Goldwing.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
6-cylinder. So, and this BMW has 2 cylinders. So, and on the Goldwing, I did a total of 2,300 Ks. And it was like, well, when does the trip start?
Yeah.
With the BMW, I did 600, well, not twice. The first to go there, 650. And I arrived destroyed. I was like, where is the ibuprofen? I need an ibuprofen immediately.
Oh, no.
So there is such a difference. Incredible.
Wow.
And BMW offered me the one who has a big fairing, the RT.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
You are completely, and I said, no, I am. Give me the sport one.
Next time.
When I was returning, I was first, I am riding a bike. Second, I ask for the sport one. You are an idiot.
Yeah. You do realize it's November, right? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well. All right.
Oh, Manuel.
All right, guys.
So what have you got? What have you got coming up over the next few weeks? Are you busy? You got some quiet time?
Well, today, as I told you, I have two Thanksgiving dinners, one tomorrow and one today. And then, I don't know.
Siesta.
Siesta is every day. Do you eat every day? Yes, we do siesta every day.
Exactly.
And no say, we have a big holiday here next week that goes from December 4th to December 9th. And probably I will go to the beach because here in Spain, there is a beach that very south where last year I had a swim January the 1st. So perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely indeed. All right. Well, Andra, before we go for the last time this year on the official MotoGP podcast, any messages for the viewers and listeners?
Not so much messages, just jump on social media, like, follow, share.
That's
Keep
it.
an eye out next
Hit the
weekend. We
notification
might
bell.
have all that. Keep an eye out the next weekend that's coming. There's going to be, I don't know, I can't even predict what you're going to see or what you're going to experience, but Stu and I are going to be not shy and out
Indeed.
and about through the track.
Yep. So yeah, keep an eye on the Instagram, on the YouTube as well, and yeah, you might see some.
How is the weather down there?
It's pissing down.
We were talking about that today. It's summer and it rained. And
my
bit
pool
warmer.
Overflowed. It's my backyard is flooded.
No.
Completely and utterly. Yeah.
Someone said it's not the El Nino, it's the
La Nina.
The opposite one.
It's a little girl, La Nina. Yeah.
Yeah. And, hey, listen. And by the way, I've heard that you have COVID infection is growing by you.
We just opened up our borders finally, so it's about to shit's about to hit the fan because we're about a year behind the rest of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll just watch this space.
In Austria, they are locking down the country again. The whole country. They were in front of everyone, but they have only vaccination 60%. So it's the hospitals are overflowing again with COVID people. We here are kind of an island. Because we are super well. We have 92% of the people vaccinated, and the incident is most of them is with kids under 12.
Yeah, because they're the ones that aren't vaccinated now.
But you know that kids, they go through this like a flu. For them is
Manuel, are there people getting it more than once?
Yes, because with the vaccine you can get it. The good thing is that it doesn't affect you as not having a vaccine. It's like a cold or a flu. If you get it, being vaccinated.
Yep. Indeed. So for everybody out there, go and get vaccinated. Don't mess around. It's not for you, it's for everybody else. Make sure you do it. Indeed. Wonderful. All right,
guys.
Manuel, thank you so much for another amazing year of MotoGP and for giving us all the insights. I feel so privileged to be able to have these conversations with you and with Andra as well every single week. You've made it an incredible year. It was an amazing year of racing, but you've made it even more special. Thank you so much, mate.
I would suggest, I don't know, the people who follow us, to hear us, see us, I would like them to send us a message about telling us their 3 highlights of the season.
That'd be amazing.
Brilliant.
Yes. That would be, because I have a list of my highlights, and then we could do a ranking, what people think that were the highlights. Remember, we had the goodbye of Valentino Rossi, the return of Marc Marquez, the new injury of Marc Marquez, Remy Gardner world champion, the Viñales affair. There were so many things, the return of the spectators on the track.
Yeah.
So please, I would like very much, as our last year episode, to have inputs of our viewers, listeners, and then we can chat about it.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool indeed.
Maybe we can even get someone on for a couple of minutes to tell us.
Oh yeah, that would be great, to share with us and put their inputs. And that would be fantastic. We can do it maybe even live and with a special date and hour, so
Yeah.
people can join us. Here in Zoom, I think there can be join. A lot of people can join on too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
we can
Or
we
we-
can have a good group chat. Sounds amazing. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Let's do
Wonderful.
it.
Yeah, let's
All right, guys, engage with us on the socials there. Come and say good day. Hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, tell everyone about it. And until we see you again soon, keep
adios.
watching those
Have
races.
fun next
Adios.
weekend. Have fun.
We will do.
Have fun.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.